Are you interested in sports talk debates between two brothers? Then welcome to Bro Sports, a podcast where Corey and Aidan Raftery discuss sports like football and soccer. Come join us every Thursday at 12 to listen to the latest takes on Bro Sports on Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok.
Welcome back to Bro Sports. This is Bro's Top 5.
So, Aidan, what is your top 5 teams in the NFL right now at this very moment?
Number 1 is the Patriots.
Do you like the Patriots? Then come have a listen to my newest podcast talk show, Patriots Preview Podcast, on Birthplace Studios, Spotify, and radio station every Friday at 12.
Bills are 2. Kansas City is 3. Colts are 4. And Broncos are 5.
And so, Aidan, what is the reasoning for your top 5? What are some of the standards that you have these 5 teams in your top 5?
Because one thing, Patriots are good. We all know that. The Bills, because they're better than the Chiefs for right now. And Kansas City, they're like a man team.
Did you say that Kansas City is the reason why they are in your top 5 is because of the fact that they just find ways to win?
Yeah.
All right, and what's your number 4 seat?
Colts.
Now, what's the reasoning for that?
They're always good and good.
All right, and what about Broncos? Why do you have them at number 5? Despite them having a 7-2 record and ultimately having a top 5 defense.
Because they're little bit missing passes, and that's the reason why. CJ, what is your top 5?
So mine's very much different from yours, and I'm actually gonna start from bottom to top, going from 5th to 1st. And my 5th seat in my top 5 for the best teams in the NFL right now, and as weird as this sounds, just like your team not being in your top 5, I also don't have my team in the top 5, which is the Packers. You don't have the Niners in the top 5, and I don't have the Packers either in the top 5. Now, there is some reasons for these teams that I have in my top 5, and my number 5th seat is the Seahawks. Now, there's a lot of reasons as to why I think the Seahawks should be here, and maybe even slightly higher, maybe even 4 or 3. It's because they're just a really balanced team. They're both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are top 10 in the league. They also just find ways to win. And Sam Darnold right now looks really good. He found his place at Seattle, and he's had a great season so far. He's one of the top passing touchdown quarterbacks in the league right now, and he just looks overall really good and comfortable with this Seattle team. Number 4, I have to put the Bills, only because the Bills, although they have a top 5 offense, their defense doesn't look good. I think that they still don't have it yet on defense. I definitely think that if they got a couple more extra pieces on defense, that defense would also be top 10, top 15. But the Bills are a winning team. They're 6-3 at the moment. They look good, and it's only because of their offense being top 5. Their offense is really, really solid. Josh Allen is awesome. He's able to run on the ground. He's able to get the ball out. He's able to get out of the pocket and throw the ball. He's got a lot of aspects of his game that he can get the ball to his wide receivers. And also, the wide receiver core is pretty good on that Bills team. So that's why. Now, my 3rd place team is so much different from yours, Aidan. And honestly, I don't think the Chiefs should be in the top 5, in my opinion, because they're just a fraudulent team to begin with. We've known that since last season. They somehow made it to the Super Bowl and they still lost, and they lost badly to the Eagles. So they're always going to be a fraudulent team to me. I think that they're going to be a team that I don't ever have confidence in. But my number three, and as weird as this sounds, and a lot of people are probably going to hate me for it, I have the Colts at number three. Now, the Colts, they just lost a tough game to the Steelers, so that was another loss they just got in their season. As they're a 7-2 team, they look good. Both sides of the ball are amazing. Their offense is the number one in the league, is one of the best offenses in the league right now. Their defense is kind of mid as well. So that's another reason why I also think that they're not one or two. It's because of the fact that their defense isn't that good. It's not that it's not good. It's just not there yet. And I think if they just find those pieces, they're gonna have a good team there. Um, you know, Jones is, as everybody keeps calling him now, Indiana Jones. He looks good on the team. He looks comfortable. That he's able to get the ball out to his wide receivers. He's able to really work well with that scheme of the game and of the team rather, and he looks good. So yeah, they just look like an overall good team. And they're gonna be a difficult team for teams to beat in playoffs coming postseason. Now, I have for my number two team, the Broncos. Broncos right now arguably are a top 5 defense as well as top 5 offense. They look good. They're able to score the ball. They're able to play good defense, and they just look good. They're very balanced on both sides. And Bo Nix has had a good season. I mean, he's a good quarterback with the team that he has around him. He has a great line around him. He's got a great wide receiver core around him. He's got a good running back. Their defense is solid. Again, as I mentioned, they're top 5 in the league right now. They're looking really good, and they're 7-2, and they're currently on a 6-game winning streak as well right now. So they're a hot team as well. They're looking good. They're looking dangerous. And shout out to you, my man Gabe, who is a Broncos fan. He should be really excited for his team right about now. They're doing really good, and he should be pretty proud of them right about now at this point in the season. Now, obviously, most people probably have them in their as number one right now this season because they just have been looking really good. Obviously, last game it was really close, and I even called it in my last podcast of the Patriots podcast that I did last week, and that is the New England Patriots. New England Patriots right now just are a very balanced team. Good defense, good offense. They're able to score points, get the win, and the defense is also able to get to the ball. They've had a few interceptions over the course of the season. It's been good interceptions too that have gotten them the ball back to score some points, and they just look good. Drake May looks good right now. He looks like an MVP caliber quarterback right now this season, and that's gonna be a really really good team for the rest of the season. And they need to be careful with Drake May. They didn't make sure he doesn't get injured because he's the reason why they're even winning most of these games. And yeah, he just looks good. The team looks good overall. Vrabel's has done a phenomenal job with this Patriots team, and I definitely think that this is going to be a team that people, or rather teams, are going to be not looking forward to play against. So Aidan, let's now come up with a list together as to who we think our top 5 list is all between the two of us. So we could both agree that the Patriots are obviously number 1. Who do we think number 2 should be? Now, I'm still sticking with the fact that the Broncos should be in number 2. Just based off of their team, they look good. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Obviously, they're 7-2. What are your thoughts? Do you think that that's a good spot for them, or do you think they should be lower?
That's a good spot for them.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, so we can agree that the Broncos should be number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think number 3 team should be in our top 5 combined? Now you have the Chiefs. I have the Colts.
Hmm.
Now obviously you have the Bills at 2, and I have the Bills at 4. What do you think that we should say that the Colts or the Bills should be at number 3?
I think the Colts.
I would agree with that. I think the Colts should be number 3. I think that's a good idea. Because that's just, I mean, that seems like a good list. I mean,
Yeah.
so I think Colts number 3.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna agree with the Colts being at number 3. So we have the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Colts so far for our top 3 teams out
Yeah.
of our combined top 5. Now you have the Chiefs, and then and the um and the Bills left. I have the Bills and the Seahawks. Now we're gonna be battling back and forth for who do we think the top for the number 5 seat is gonna be. But we both can agree that we think that the Bills should be number 4, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the Bills, they're there, they're just not there yet, and I don't think that I would be comfortable with putting them any higher than the Broncos, Colts, and the Patriots. So I think Bills at number 4 would be an awesome spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going Bills at number 4. Now, who do you think should be number 5? And now you have the Chiefs at 3. I have the Seahawks at 5. What do you think? What do you think? Which team do you think should be in our 5th seat position?
How much Seattle won?
11.
How much Seattle won?
Seattle, I believe, is 6-3 right now.
The Chiefs are 5-4.
Which team would you trust getting more of a win or getting the playoffs more than, or playing good in general more in the season right now?
I hate to see it, the Seattle Seahawks.
Then I guess that settles it. Then we're gonna have Patriots at number 1, Broncos at 2, Colts at number 3, Bills at 4, and then Seahawks at 5. I think that's a solid list, Aidan. Don't you agree?
Yes.
I mean, I think those are just a 5 good solid teams. I don't think there's any other teams that right now are doing that great. And honestly, there's a lot of good teams right now. Yes. But I think these are going to be the teams that are going to make the difference in the league. This is Niners Talk with Aidan. So Aidan, what do you think are the needs for the 49ers right now in their upcoming game against the Rams?
Go be an offense and get a win.
What happened in their last game against the Buccaneers, as they did lose 30-19? What were some of the needs? What did they do wrong in that game? What are some of the things that you noticed?
They're throwing. They need to get better at that. And they need to win more and get better at throwing the ball.
And what are some of the things that they needed to do in their last game? Rather, what needs to happen in order to get the win against the Rams?
Play really good.
Yeah, I mean that's just I think that's for any team, and I think they need to find their rhythm in order to get some more wins on the season. Now, Aidan, what is your prediction in this next game against the Rams? Because it's a tough Rams team. They're very good. They're very hot. They have a good quarterback in Matthew Stafford. What do you think that the game is going to end up being?
Winning by 7, and they will win 27-19.
So you say win by 7, you want them to win 27-19? So that's
Yeah.
win by 8. Well, that's okay. That's to win by a score.
Yeah.
Okay. That's reasonable. That's a reasonable game.
What happened against the Panthers? How they will win against the Eagles?
Yeah, and that's a great question. So there was a lot that went wrong in that Packers game with a fumble occurring, Tucker Kraft going down, Jordan Love didn't look good. I mean, he did really good. He just couldn't get in the end zone because he lost Tucker Kraft ultimately, and he actually we now know that he tore his ACL and he's out for the season, which kind of sucks. Um, but it also has a lot to do with the play calling in that game. We should have went for the 3 points on a 4th and 8. There was numerous throws like the interception from Jordan Love, for example. He shouldn't have thrown that. It was a ridiculous ball. It was a 1st and 10, and he just tried to throw the ball up, trying to just do something, and he just didn't think before he did it, and he threw an interception. But Matt LaFleur is just so inconsistent with his play calling. It's frustrating, and we could see the team being good, um, in the Steelers game and against the Lions and at the beginning of the season. This team can be good. They also just can't seem to put it together. They're very inconsistent. They only seem to want to show up in the second half. And Matt LaFleur is so inconsistent with his play calling. It's bad. And not to mention our special teams. We missed a field goal. Brandon McManus is on a really bad streak right now. He's missed 3 field goals or field goal attempts or 3 point conversions in the last few games. And I think we need to get Haversick back on the field because he hit a bomb from half field. I believe it was like 60 something yards. He hit a bomb. He hit a good he's able to score the ball on field goal tries and 3 point attempts from half field. I mean, if you want a good kicker, that's going to be the kicker. Then the defense. We need to see more from the defense. That was a poor performance for the run game, and that's our best part of our defense is the run defense. And we weren't able to stop it. We were able to stop the pass defense. It was great. But the run defense was non-existent. And it was just a game. It was just a bad game against a bad team again. Well, we can't say that the Panthers are bad because they're now 5-4. They were a team that was losing and now they're in the winning category. They're actually not a bad team. They just somehow put it together against the Packers. And it's just gonna be a long road if we can't get our stuff together. And yeah, so as far as what they're gonna need to do against the Eagles, they're gonna have to just run the ball and get it to Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. Because of the fact that they don't have Tucker Kraft anymore, they don't have their big tight end. They're also gonna have to rely on Luke Musgrave and their other tight end, which I'm brain farting on his name. But they need to rely on those other guys to step up and get us to win against the Eagles because I want to beat the Eagles so bad. And if we don't, we're gonna get bumped down to 3rd in our division. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to see that. And it's not gonna be a good rest of our season if we can't put something together. Now, I have my prediction. It's a really bad prediction, and honestly, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I think the Packers can win this game because they have a good defense. The defense is there. We just need to see our offense be there. And if I'm gonna guess, this because of the Eagles, what they've been doing, I think it's gonna be another close game. I think that the Packers can get out of that game with they'll win that game by a field goal. I'm gonna call it there. So I don't know what the score is gonna be, I think it's probably going to end up being like 27-24 or something like that. And that's going to be how the game ends. But now let's talk about MLS playoffs, because enough with football. We haven't really talked much about soccer recently, as the New England Revolution are out of this playoffs, and they've been out of the playoffs for weeks now. So Aidan, how are the playoffs going? What are some teams that are currently winning right now and in the playoffs at the moment? And what teams are at what positions?
Uh, um, Portland won the wild card round, and then they go against the 1 seed San Diego State, and then it's follow that. It's 5th against 4th Seattle, Minnesota, and then both Vancouver and LAFC won their series in their conference, and now they're in the semifinals, second against third, and on the other side we got Chicago won against Orlando, and Philly won against Chicago, and they're now first. And follow that, it's Charlotte against New York, and Nashville against Miami, and Columbus Crew against Cincinnati, the 7th and the 2nd, 6th, 3rd, 5th, and 4th.
So Aidan, who do you think will ultimately make it to the conference finals on both sides, and then ultimately to the MLS Cup?
San Diego, Miami, or Vancouver and Charlotte.
Really? You think Charlotte could actually make it?
I mean, if they play Philadelphia hard, they will.
All right. So you think it's going to be... So who do you think are going to be our MLS Cup finalists?
San Diego.
Versus who?
Versus Miami.
You think that's going to be the final? You think it's going to be Miami versus San Diego?
Yeah.
In the Cup final? All right. That is all we have for today's episode. Once again, tune in on Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok every Thursday at 12 to listen to our latest discussions and takes on everything sports. I'm your host, Corey Raftery.
And host Aidan Raftery, and then San Diego, Miami, hopefully you make to the promised land.
And we hope you guys tune in next week. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a good day and be amazing.